Hi, in this video I will talk and comment on the Jonah Surah starting from the verse 15. When our revelations are recited to them, those who do not expect to meet us say, "Bring a Quran other than this, or change it." Say, "I cannot possibly change it on my own. I simply follow what is revealed to me. I fear if I disobey my Lord, the retribution of an awesome day." So this is a very important verse um, because it shows that a prophet is not like an inspiration to him. It is precisely from God. It is literally from God, and it cannot be compared with the hadiths. And because hadiths are prophets' words, while Quran is the God's word. Say, had God willed, I wouldn't have recited it to you, nor would you have known anything about it. I have lived among you a whole life before this. Do you not understand? Who is more evil than one who fabricates lies about God or rejects his revelations? Certainly the transgressors never succeed. So for example, if you say that X is a sin, and then you say that God is God's rule, it means if it is not true, it's a lie about God, and a very big lie about God. And maybe some people like that, and you are actually making them, you are fabricating rules, fabricating and making life miserable for believers. And it's not good. And so here God mentions the rules and basic principles in the Quran. And they worship beside God idols that possess no power to harm them or benefit them. And they say, these are our intercessors at God. Say, are you informing God of something he doesn't know in the heavens or the earth? Be he glorified, he is the Most High, far above needing partners. So in fact nowadays, culturally, people claim many intercessors, human intercessors, object intercessors. So this is very dangerous, and God is warning us in the Quran in the verse 18. So we see this. The people used to be one congregation, then they disputed. If it were not for a determined apparent word from your Lord, they would have been judged immediately regarding their disputes. They say, how come no miracle came down to him from his Lord? Say, the future belongs to God. So wait, and I'm waiting along with you. It's another important thing that so it seems like after referring the Quran and referring the Quran, mentioning the miracles, when he bestowed mercy upon the people after adversity had afflicted them, they immediately scheme against our revelations. Say, God's scheming is far more effective, for our messengers are recording everything you scheme. He is the one moves you across the land and the sea. You get onto the ships and they sail smoothly in nice breeze. Then while rejoicing therein, violent wind blows and the waves surround them from every side. This is when they implore God, sincerely devoting their prayers to Him alone. If you only save us this time, we will be eternally appreciative. So this verse is effective for everyone because it's sort of about wind, and everyone know and familiar with this metaphor. And this is a natural thing. But as soon as he saves them, they transgress on earth and oppose the truth. O people, your transgression is only to the detriment of your own souls. You remain preoccupied with this worldly life. Then to us is your ultimate return. Then we inform you of everything you had done. The analogy of this worldly life is like this. We send down water from the sky to produce with it all kinds of plants from the earth, and to provide food for the people and animals. Then just as the earth is perfectly adorned and people think that they're in control, Thereof our judgment comes by night or by day, leaving it completely barren as if nothing existed the previous day. We thus explain the revelations for people who reflect. So this is like a... And then in the story, in the cave surah, you remember there is a story, and they say that I will not suffer anything. I think I will keep having this, and then leaving it completely barren as if nothing existed the previous day. So God invites the abode of peace and guides whomever He wills in a straight path. For the righteous the reward will be multiplied manifold. Their faces will never experience any deprivation or shame. These are the dwellers of paradise, they abide therein forever. As for those who earn their requital is equivalent to their sin. So it's important that then it shows that God is fair. Humiliation is their lot, and no one beside God can protect them. Their faces will seem overwhelmed by masses of dark night. They will be dwellers of hell. They abide therein forever. So this is very sad, and because they are far from God's mercy. On the day when we summon them, we will say to those worshipped idols, we have summoned you together with your idols. So it was mentioned previously. We will have them confront each other, and their idols will say to them, we had no idea that you idolized us. So they cannot hear what they say. God suffices as a witness between us and you that we were completely unaware of your worshipping us. That is when each soul will examine everything it had done. They will be returned to God, their rightful Lord and Master, and the idols they had fabricated will disown them. Say, who provides for you from the heaven and the earth? Who controls all the hearing and the eyesight? Who produces the living from the dead, and the dead from the living? Who is in control of all things? They would say, God. Say, why then you don't observe the commandments? It's important that God has created indeed dead from the living, and it is special to God. Now we don't have that such power. And such is God, your rightful Lord. What is there after the truth except falsehood? Could you disregard all this? This is what your Lord's decision does to those who choose to be wicked. They cannot believe. Say, can any of your idols... Yeah, so it's mentioned here. It's mentioned here. Initiate creation, then repeat it. Say God initiates the creation and then repeats it. So this is a very beautiful sentence. So we cannot produce any new types of living creature in the laboratory. So this is very interesting. Like even the very simple thing, they cannot even make a mosquito, bug, or something. And it shows that human design is perfect. Does any of your idols guide the truth? Say God guides the truth. Is one who guides the truth more worthy of being followed, or one who doesn't guide and needs guidance for himself? What is wrong with your judgment? Most of them follow nothing but conjecture, and conjecture is no substitute for the truth. God is fully aware of everything they do. So referring the Quran again after this, and previously we remember that Quran was mentioned again. This Quran couldn't possibly be authored by other than God. It confirms all previous messages and so it's important that God doesn't claim that it is different than the Bible and other books because it's similar. And so like we see that every time, so there are choices, decision making, so it could be different, like, it could be some different sentence. It provides a fully detailed scripture. It's infallible, for it comes from the Lord of the universe. If they say he fabricated it, say, then produce one surah like this, and invite whomever you wish, other than God, if you are truthful. Indeed, they have rejected this without studying and examining it, and before understanding it. Thus did those before them disbelieve, therefore note the consequences for the transgressors. Some of them believe, while others disbelieve in it. Your Lord is fully aware of the evildoers. If they reject you, then say, I have my works, and you have your works. You are innocent of anything I do, and I am innocent of anything you do. Some of them listen to you, but can you make the deaf hear, even though they cannot understand? Some of them look at you, but can you guide the blind, even though they do not see? God never wrongs the people if it is the people who wrong their own souls. It was explained previously in the other surahs. We remember similar expressions. So they choose to be that, and they have the free will, and they have the sense of eternal. They will stay in the world eternally. It's also, it's also about the timing. So if you think that how many years you will live, I think that I will not die, and I cannot think of that as a limited period. So it is very interesting and indeed very important thing. And once you do things, you are actually aware that you will do this, even you live like 1,000 years. So you're choosing it, and it's a very complex skill. And so God gave us, and so we are responsible for our deeds. And if we keep doing it, like we are recording in a way that if we have eternal time, we will do those things. It's like we are signing a contract with every actions of us, and then the contract is not limited to 80 years, and we instinctively know it. Like we do this, and in our mind, if we have a lot of time, we will keep doing this. So that's why. Interestingly, one day he summons all of them. They will feel as if they lasted in this world 1 hour of the day, during which they met. Losers indeed are those who disbelieve in a meeting God and choose to be misguided. So they feel like this is an illusion. They actually feel like they stay there. And it also refers to the relativity of the time, because at that time, maybe our sense of time is different. Whether we show you some, we promise them or terminate your life before that, to us is their ultimate return. God witnesses everything they do. To each community a messenger after messenger comes. They are judged equitably, without the least injustice. They challenge, when will this prophecy come to test? If you are telling the truth, so coming back to the topic again, about referring. Say, I possess no power to harm myself or benefit myself. Only what God will takes place. Each community has a predetermined lifespan. Once their interim comes to an end, they cannot delay it by 1 hour nor advance it. So it's interesting that the 1 hour was mentioned here, also here. It creates the sense of harmony. Say whether this retribution comes to you by night or day. Why are the transgressors in such a hurry? If it does happen, will you believe then? Why should you believe then? You used to challenge it to come. It will be said to the transgressors, taste the eternal retribution. Are you not requited precisely for what you have earned? They challenge you to prophecy. Is this really what will happen? Yes, indeed, my lord, this is the truth, and you can never escape. If any wicked soul possessed everything on earth, it will readily offer it as a ransom. They will be ridden with remorse when they see retribution. They will be judged equitably, without the least injustice. Absolutely to God belongs everything in the heavens and the earth. Absolutely God's promise is the truth, but most of them do not know.